I spent my entire childhood and teenage years living in the same house. During that time, I experienced countless unexplained or paranormal events, many of which I later learned could be attributed to what some people call mimics. The house, built in the 1980s and owned by my father, wasn't old or associated with any known tragedies. No one had ever died in the house or on the property as far as we knew. However, locals often mentioned that the surrounding area was once home to Native American tribes, so I always assumed the strange occurrences might be tied to that. I have numerous stories, but today, I'll share one of the most chilling. If you're curious to hear more, let me know. When I turned 13, my parents started leaving me home alone with my older brother, who was 2 years older than me, on days they worked. My brother, however, was heavily involved in sports and wouldn't come home until 1.5 to 2 hours after I did. I'd take the bus home, and he'd arrive later on his bike after practice. Weird things had been happening in that house for as long as I could remember, starting with my first encounter at around 5 years old. By the time I was 13, I'd experienced enough to feel uneasy whenever I was alone there. The house's energy always seemed stronger when no one else was home. Walking inside felt like stepping into an electric field. My hair practically stood on end. I developed a routine. I'd check the entire house with a knife, lock myself in the bathroom, and play games on my phone until my brother got home. The bathroom became my safe space, small, well-lit, and lockable, with no chance of anything sneaking up behind me. The rest of the house always felt like something was breathing down my neck. One day, about an hour into my usual bathroom retreat, I heard the distinct squeak of the side door leading from the garage into the house. This was followed by footsteps in the kitchen, the clatter of keys on the table, and one of my brother's loud, unmistakable burps. It was so specific I immediately felt relieved. Finally, I thought, grateful someone was home. I stood up to leave the bathroom, but as I reached for the doorknob, something made me freeze. An instinctive chill washed over me. Something felt off. My brother always came through the front door, never the garage. He also kept his keys in his room, not on the table. It was like something was imitating him, but not quite right, like the uncanny valley of human behavior. I texted my brother, "Are you home?" His reply came instantly, "No, leaving practice now." My blood ran cold. As soon as I read his text, all the sounds in the house stopped. Dead silence. Then I heard the unmistakable sound of the kitchen stools being dragged across the tile floor. Not shoved or thrown, dragged, as if someone was deliberately moving them out of the kitchen into the living room. My heart was pounding. I quickly texted my brother again. "There's someone in the house!" Right after, I heard my dog leap onto the couch, her growls escalating into snarls. I sat frozen in the bathroom, clutching the knife, tears streaming down my face. It sounded like someone or something was throwing things around. My dog was barking wildly, but I vividly remembered hearing my brother just minutes earlier. Now it sounded like a large, heavy man stomping through the house. Calling the police felt pointless. This didn't feel like an intruder. It felt supernatural. I stayed silent, hoping it would go away. Minutes later, my brother texted, "I'm home now, about to walk in." I heard the front door open, followed by his voice calling out, "Hello? No one's here." Only then did I muster the courage to unlock the bathroom door and step out. I expected to find the house in chaos, furniture overturned, things out of place. But everything was exactly as I'd left it. The garage door I heard swing open. It was locked from the inside and hadn't been touched. The only sign something had happened was my dog still perched on the couch, her fur bristling and her eyes filled with fear. To this day, almost 10 years later, recounting that experience gives me chills. I believe a mimic or entity was trying to lure me out of the bathroom, and when I didn't fall for it, it became angry and aggressive. I'm no expert, but I've encountered similar occurrences in that house since. Let me know if you want to hear more stories. Also, don't forget to follow, like, share, and subscribe.